What's going on, everybody? Ryan Thompson, the Assumable Guy. This is the Assumable Guy Show. Today's one for the sellers. What if you owe more than your home is worth? You bought near the top, the market cooled off, and now you feel stuck in a house you think you can't sell. If that's you, stick with me, because I'm going to show you why being underwater is usually not the deal breaker everyone tells you it is. Here we go. Let me paint the picture first, because I've sat across from a lot of you. You bought in 2021, maybe 2022. You paid top dollar because back then everybody was. Maybe it was a VA loan and you wrapped the funding fee right into it. Now you pull up Zillow on a Tuesday night and it says your home is worth less than you owe, and your stomach drops. You feel trapped. You figure the only way out is a short sale or writing a big fat check at the closing table just to get rid of the place. Right? That's the story playing in your head. Now, here's what most people don't realize. If you locked in a low rate, you are nowhere near as stuck as you think. That rate you've got, the 2.75%, the 3%, whatever it is, that is not just your monthly payment. That is an asset. To the right buyer, your rate is worth real money, and it can cover the exact gap you think is sinking you. So let me get ahead of the objection, because I can hear it. You're thinking, Ryan, I owe more than the thing is worth. Nobody on planet Earth is going to pay me more than my house is worth. That's crazy. And on a normal sale, you'd be right. But your house isn't a normal sale. Your house comes with a 2.75% mortgage bolted to it. Let me show you what that's actually worth. This is where it gets good. Say you bought at $415,000. VA loan, funding fee wrapped in. So today you owe about $405,000. You get an appraisal and the comps come in at $390,000. So on paper, you're underwater $15,000. That's the number keeping you up at night. Now a buyer comes along who can assume your loan. They step into that $405,000 balance at 2.75%, and their payment is about $1,650 a month. If that same buyer walked into a bank and got a brand new $405,000 loan at today's 6.5%, they'd be at about $2,560 a month. That's roughly $910 a month less every single month on the same house, $910 a month. So think about what that's worth to that buyer. $910 a month is almost $11,000 a year after year after year. So would a buyer pay your full $405,000 balance, even though the appraisal said $390,000 just to grab a payment that's $910 lower? I promise you, all day long, run the numbers yourself. They make back that whole $15,000 gap in about a year and a half of savings. Your low rate didn't just help them, it filled your hole. Little hack for you on top of that. What if a buyer comes in a hair over your balance, say $410,000? Now they've only got a tiny $5,000 equity gap to bring to closing, which makes your home stupid easy to buy. Almost no cash to close. And you? You walk away with money in your pocket instead of writing a check. The thing you were dreading flips completely. Now here's something a lot of people don't know. When we market your home as assumable, we are not just fishing for buyers who want to assume. Think about that for a second. Marketing that 2.75% rate pulls in everybody. Assumable buyers, conventional buyers, even cash buyers, all of them circling the same house. And more buyers means more offers. And more offers drives your price up. So the rate works for you, even if the person who wins never assumes a thing. Let me tell you about Colin and Beth. They were in this exact spot. Felt like they couldn't sell without losing their shirt. So we marketed the assumable rate. They got multiple competing offers. That competition pushed the price up past anything a quiet, normal listing was ever going to pull. They were bracing to bring cash to the table. Instead, they closed clean and walked away whole. And listen, if an agent already told you your only move is a short sale, or that you've just got to write a check and eat it, slow down. Do not take that as the answer. A short sale beats up your credit, and it's a long, ugly process. Most agents saying that have never marketed an assumable in their life. They don't know how it works, so they shut it down because nobody wants to look stupid in front of their client. That's not your weight to carry. And here's why this is working right now. Buyers are getting crushed out there. In Colorado Springs back in 2019, about 71% of people could afford a median home. By 2023, that was down to 25%. So when a buyer finally finds a house they can actually afford because of a 2.75% rate, they move fast. Your rate isn't just a nice perk. To a priced out buyer, it's the whole ball game. That's the demand sitting under your house that you had no idea was there. And you're not doing any of this alone. We line up the assumption processor. We keep the bank moving when they drag their feet. And I put the right clauses in the contract to protect you the whole way through. And honestly, a lot of you aren't even as underwater as you think. If you bought in 2020 or 2021 with a VA loan, yeah, you wrapped the funding fee in, so you started a little underwater on day one. But you've been paying that loan down at 2.75%, which means almost all of your payment has been going to principal, not interest. Your balance is dropping faster than you'd guess. So that scary gap in your head is usually smaller than the real one on paper. So picture two houses, same street, same price. One needs a brand new loan at 6.5%. The other one comes with a 2.75% rate the buyer can step into and save $910 a month. Which one sells first, right? It's not close. Your low rate is the reason your house moves while the one down the block just sits there collecting price cuts. I want to make this super clear though. You do not have to accept an assumable offer. We market it that way to bring the crowd in. At the end of the day, you still pick the offer that's best for you, assumable or not. Marketing the rate just gets way more people to the table fighting over your house. That's the whole point. So if you're sitting there feeling underwater, before you panic, let's run the real numbers on your place. Go to assumableguy.com or DM me on Instagram at the.assumable.guy. Tell me what you owe and what you think it's worth. I'll tell you straight whether your rate can carry the gap. No pressure, just math. Next episode, we're staying on the seller's side. What happens to your escrow account when somebody assumes your loan? There's money sitting in there, and a lot of sellers have no clue it's coming back to them. I'm going to show you how to make sure that check actually lands in your hands. Let's go. I'm Ryan Thompson. This is the Assumable Guy Show. See you on the next one.